What's going on? So today I'm going to show you how to connect two Ubiquiti Lightbeam 5 AC Gen 2s. It's going to be a good time. As you can see right here, I have one attached to my fence out there, and I have another one sitting on a stool next to me right here pointed that way. The one out there is already all configured and ready to roll, so I'm going to configure this one and show you how to do it. First thing you got to do, when you turn these on, they crank up a like built-in management radio. Easiest thing to do is go into your Wi-Fi networks, and you can see I'm already connected to one, because that's the one I'm connected to out there still. Connect to the radio in question. It'll do all its things, and it'll probably yell at me for not having internet access, but we don't care. Yep, there we go. It's unavailable. Doesn't matter. Once you do that, open up the UNMS app on your phone and tap the radio. It'll log in for you. It has default credentials all saved in it and stuff already, so it's good to go. Setting up. I've never used this create new access point option before. I have no idea how it works, so I do manual. It'll do some more basic, generic, first time power on stuff. This one's brand new out of the box, so it's never even been turned on before. Not by me, at least. Device activation successful. Okay, whatever. Tap the little gear icon up at the top, and on the first screen is kind of where the money is. So you're gonna go to the little Wi-Fi icon with the arrows going around it. Tap that, and it'll do a site survey and show you what's available for it to connect to. Eventually. You can see my Sector 2. There's no way in hell it's picking up Sector 2 here. That would be weird. Eventually. Okay. Why are you not picking it up? Are you really not aimed well enough? Because you can see it's not very far away. So aim shouldn't really matter a whole lot, I would think, but maybe it does. I don't know. I like how it's picking up the sector radio, which is facing completely the other direction behind my house, but it won't pick up the radio right there. When configuring these things, I hit save after each little tab because I've had it not work very well switching between them and then hitting save. It like won't save the other tabs. It'll just save the one you're on. So I'll do like wireless, save it, network, save it, system, save it. Seems to be a little bit more reliable that way. All right, it's still thinking about it. I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, seriously? So I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this and finish it in the morning because it's getting too damn dark. So stand by.
2,000 years later.
All right, so got it now. So I figured out what was wrong with that side. I'll show you that when we get there. And I factory reset this one, so we're starting from scratch. All right, so we're at the manual setup thing again. Again, I don't know if that other way works or not. I would assume it would, but I've never used it, so don't fix it if it ain't broken, right? Gotta wait for it to do its thing. Device activation successful. Gee, thanks. So you click the little gear. What I had to change, I wasn't thinking about it last night. On one, you need one to be an access point and the other side to be a station. Last night, they were both stations. So they were both just not looking for each other at all. This one, we're gonna make the station, and that one is the access point. So now, all you have to do is click that, and it'll search and search and search and connect, and that's it. You do have to do your IP and your security. Where is it? Down here. So we're gonna go, or it won't connect if you don't do this. Testes 1, 2. So it should be good to go now. It may not connect without changing the IP. I know it won't pass any traffic, but it may connect anyway. I'm not real sure. It's so slow. So slow. Sometimes it saves and pops right back up. There we go. Jeez. Other times, God, it takes forever. Still disconnect. Hey, see it connected. So it's connected now, -31. You can see the connection, and you can go in here and do your aligning and all that stuff, but it won't pass any traffic like this, I'm pretty sure, because I haven't changed and set up the IPs and everything. So we're gonna do 10.10.1.200, sure, why not, whatever. Subnet mask is good to go. Gonna do the IP, gateway rather. I usually put DNS IPs in here, 8.8.8.8, and then 1.1.1.1 in no particular order, but it's not necessarily required. I just do it because why not, right? You're gonna take another 15 minutes to freaking save? All right, so now we got the IPs in there. The only other thing that I usually change on these is I'll change the device name. So this is the one on the stool, so stool. You can fill it with the Android location, the GPS location if you want, but you don't really need to do that, and the password. So you're all connected and ready to roll. Everything's chugging right along. To access these, all you have to do, I'll actually show you. Hold on one second. Quick and dirty little network setup here. Got the radio that's pointed over to the other one, obviously, on the stool. This is the power injector for the radio. So you have your PoE, which powers the radio, obviously, and then your LAN port going into a little switch, and the little switch goes into my laptop. So that's the setup. While this is just a simple setup, you could actually do this 100 different ways. At my house, this plugs into a switch that also has my wireless access point plugged into it, and I connect via Wi-Fi through that. So there's 1,000 different ways to do this part. This is just a simple setup for demo purposes. All right, say you don't want to use the UNMS app to log into the radio. You don't want to have to join its Wi-Fi and reboot it and all that crap. All you have to do is be on the same network as the radio. We put 10.10.1.200 for the IP for the radio, so as long as we're on a 10.10.1.1/24 network, because that's the subnet we're on. Subnetting is another discussion altogether. Go watch a YouTube video on it or something. I'm not going to talk about that here. But as long as we're on the same network, all we have to do is put the radio's IP in and boom. So we're going to go 10.10.1.200. Connector's not private, we don't care. Go away. And then, oh, well, since this is the first time, do I have to, all right. Are you serious? I've actually never had to do this like that. That must be a new thing, I don't know, but it'll say management radio is temporarily enabled because I just powered it back on after hooking up the switch and all that stuff, but this is the radio interface itself. Damn, 655? That's trucking. In here you can see all the reception stuff. Your capacity is down here. You can see your frequency, your bandwidth, your, I can't think of the word right now. You know what I mean. You can see it's incredibly out of balance because they're both all cattywampus. Down here you see more details and everything. You can also go in and configure it all, of course. So you don't have to use the app and, you know, connect to the wireless and all that. You don't have to do any of that at all. You can just plug it into a switch and configure it all this way. But when you're on site at somebody's house or whatever, trying to get it all configured and set up and stuff, being able to just Wi-Fi to it and set it up real quick is actually pretty handy, even if it doesn't work the best all the time. But yeah, that's how easy it is to do these. Sure, they're a little bit quirky and the software is a little bit kind of funny sometimes, but it works pretty damn well. I actually had a little bit better luck with the nano beams. Their software I think is a little bit better, but I mean, these still work really well. And as you can see, the capacity's pretty, kind of surprised actually. That's pretty good. Granted, it says it's 984 feet. It's not 984 feet. I'll tell you that right now. It's like 40 feet. They work great though, and they're cheap. They're only 60 bucks. They work like a charm for CPEs, the customer placed equipment, stuff that goes on people's house. Works really, really well. I've been really happy with these. I was using the nano beams, like I said a minute ago, and they worked really well also. Not just the software side of things, but like connection and throughput and all that, they worked really well too. But the thing with those is that those are like 100 bucks and these are 60 or so. So you get 99% of the goodness at almost half the price. So kind of a no-brainer there. That's about it though. That's how you connect radios. It's pretty straightforward, and once you do it a couple times, you don't really have too much of an issue with it, usually. There's always that one thing that you forget, like switching on station point or access point to point. But in my defense, I don't usually set these up that way. This one would usually be the point to multi-point station, and that one would be the sector radio. So this is a little bit of a different setup for me, but it's kind of the same in most ways. Going to a sector radio, that would be point to multi-point, and you would just connect to it exactly the same way. This is just doing two radios point to point. Kind of forgot one had to be an access point, one had to be a station, but you know, oops. That's actually how I had my original setup done. I had, there were 4 nano beams. You could see that set up in the episode 4 of this series actually. But I had 4 nano beams. One was on my buddy's house where my Cox connection was as his roommate. And then I'd beam it to the relay house and then out another nano beam here to another nano beam, which is still on my house actually. That thing's been up there for quite a while now. In that setup, it was access point, station, and then access point, station. But now that I use sector radios, I haven't done this kind of setup in quite a while. So, you know, same but different. Questions, comments, anything else? Put it down in the comment section down below. You know the drill with that. And be sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. You got more questions or want to chat or hang out or whatever, that's the place to do it. Link in the description. Later.